Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I would like really to thank you for attending this meeting. Before we start the meeting, I would like to thank Alba Management for accepting our invitation to have our special meeting today. And today we have International Day for Health and Safety and Environment. So we are celebrating in two things: international health and safety, and also we have our monthly gathering and monthly forum for Bahrain Health and Safety Society. So today we will lunch, inshallah, with Mr. Hisham, what will be where we are needed really after stress, after Corona, after work back, to minimize and try to fix ourselves, how to be returned with full power, how to mindset, how to change all of them. So by tonight, inshallah, you'll learn a lot. Before we start the meeting, I would like to call Mr. Muhammad Khalil. He's Director of Health and Safety Environment in Alba to deliver this speech. Please welcome with me, Mr. Muhammad.
I will speak in English, but first I will greet you in Arabic. Thank you very much, sir. I would like to thank, of course, Bahrain Safety Health Society, and thanks Alba Management for this opportunity, in fact. And on behalf of our CEO, Mr. Al-Baqqali, I would like to thank you all for being here with us. And of course, I would like to thank Hisham, one of the talented speakers here in Alba, and he's one of the experienced people. Today also we have guests from British Safety Council as well. He's Mr. Bob, and all the guests here. So thank you very much. So the two notes I would like to highlight here: the World Safety Day today, 28 April. It is linked with the climate change. It's something new to this year, because decarbonization and the climate change is now it is big topic in everywhere, and especially for aluminium smelting, it is two challenges for us. In fact, it is not only smelting, even I think petroleums and other industries. So we in Alba, you are saying a special night today. You are in a special place as well, because we have achieved so many things in safety and health, and we are continuing as Alba playing big role in the economy of Bahrain, and we are very proud that we are achieving lots of achievement in Bahrain and even global. When we are talking about Alba, we are talking about the history of aluminium in the region. So with the Bahrain Society, of course, we have very linkage, and we are always supporting it, and we are always here to support Bahrain Society. So enjoy this night, and of course I'm sure the well-being is the major part now in any organization, and we are willing to go in deep with that, and both here today and these three weeks with Alba to train all our management, and even tomorrow for executives and directors. So thank you very much, Yasser, for selecting Alba, and proud to be here with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We will have a small opportunity before we start. I know Mohammed is busy with another commitment. So before we start this, before he's leaving, so if you can join us, small group photo before he's leaving. Good evening once again. I would like to introduce Mr. Hisham Alawi. He's a senior health and safety at Alba, and we will take this opportunity. He started Wellbeing since 2009, right? Since 2009, and he did it master degree in Wellbeing. So since 2009 till date, this big experience he has, and he developed a lot of things in Alba. So please, I would like to welcome Mr. Hisham, and please go and introduce yourself more about your journey.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. My name is Hisham Alawi Abdulla. I am from Aluminium Bahrain. I'm working as a senior head of safety and health over there. I have been working in health and safety since 2003. I had the opportunity to be promoted as a safety coordinator after 2 consecutive fatalities in the company. One of them was my close friend. Between his fatality and our encounter, before his fatality, 15 minutes. He drank the last tea with me. He went for his work. He was crushed by a crane into the head, and his head was dislocated. And one of the guys over here was one of the people that brought him down. Abdulla, you?
Yeah.
Since then, our company have decided to do the business of safety. And to do that, they have promoted some people in the organization to be a safety coordinators. I was the lucky one. I was one of them. Since then, I have been working over there. I have decided that health and safety is my field. And I said, if I don't have the equipment and the tools to drive health and safety, I'm not good at this job. So I decided to go to the UK and take my degree in health and safety. And basically, this is me at that time. And this picture, I basically was in class, and it was almost end of or before Christmas in December. And it was my first time in my 30 years to witness snow. So I said to my teacher, my instructor, Dr. Down Story, it's snowing. I need to go out. And this is exactly the clothes that I was wearing in class. I went back to take my other jacket. They call it the snow jacket. And I went out to witness the snow. When I went out, it stopped. Okay? So it's good than nothing. But I clearly remember this photo, me coming up to my room. There was a kindergarten in our university. And I was surprised. It was a university. Why a kindergarten is in the university? And that question went back to my instructor, Dr. Downstory. And I was asking her, I saw a kindergarten in the university. What is that for? Is it part of the campus, or is it something that I've been outside the campus? Because Wales is different. Wales is not a flat ground. It's mountains going up and down and sweat. And basically I was sitting up the mountain and I go down to the university, and the way I see the kindergarten. And she said to me, you know, Hisham, we as teachers have the opportunity by the university to bring our kids to the kindergarten while we are teaching in the university. And I was like, oh gosh, you do that. We bring housemaids in Bahrain. So the difference was obvious. And she said to me that I have, as a teacher, half an hour a day to go to the gym or do some physical activities, as she said that time. Physical activities, sporting, gym, running for half an hour in that university. And I was surprised. Wow, they give us warnings when we sleep at work, right? This is the difference. Of course, sleeping is not something to do. But this is the first thing that I have witnessed and brought me to the life of something called well-being. Today, I'll be talking to you about some topics. But let me ask you a question. What do I hear from people that are working? I hear them saying we are stressed. We are under-recognized or unrecognized. We are disrespected. There's a lot of work politics in our organization. Right? We hear that. And we hear that I am demotivated. I do not have the opportunity to develop and grow in the organization. They'll give it to somebody that they know, nepotism. Exactly. And I am overloaded and stressed. These are the things that I hear from people that are working usually. And I wonder saying, why? So today I'll take you through a small journey within the next half an hour, speaking about these topics. I have spoke about these topics in the past. We used to have the 5th Health and Safety Forum for the for the Ministry of Labour, such a long name, back in maybe March, February, March. And I have shared this, but I have added some slides for the convenience of your existence today here. Well-being, welfare, and wellness. I hear them a lot, but do you know what is the difference between them? Let's talk about it tonight. Well-being, wellness background, how do they came into life? What happened in the past? Health and safety versus well-being. Do health and safety fit with well-being, or is it well-being something different than health and safety? Human and organizational performance, and I'll take you through a very nice 6 steps that your management need to take in order to elevate the organization and albeit yourself and the well-being of your organization. We talk about the HOP 6 principles, CIPD 7 domains. I don't want to explain this now, I'll explain it later. And finally, we'll see the conclusion of this gathering tonight. During my study, of course, I did my dissertation in well-being, and I took an example or a case study of an organization in Bahrain that works in aluminum. I need to remember that. So I discovered 3 definitions. The first one was welfare. And from the study I have done, I thought that welfare is nothing other than any physical things that employer give to employees, like kitchens, toilets, cutlery, anything that is physical that is given to the employees is called welfare. And I find it very obvious in the law in the UK, in Hisham Act 1974, where it says it shall be the duty of every employer to ensure as far as reasonably practicable the health, safety, and welfare of their employees. So welfare is something legal that you need to do. Now going to the next one is wellness. Wellness, from the name, is the willingness of the management to produce programs for well-being. So any program that is there in the organization, it's called a wellness program that brings well-being. So obviously the last one is well-being, and it has 2 things. The state, how do you feel, and the degree of how do you feel. I feel happy. I feel very happy. I feel sad. Somehow. It is the state and degree of happiness and satisfaction. This is what's driving you to work every day, saying that, hey, I am going to my work today. Or, would I sleep a few minutes more? Or skip work today? This is the difference. Let's go further. And this is part of my study. You can find my study online and the portals that are there for the universities. The history of well-being. The first company that brought well-being to life was Cadbury. A guy who was selling something on the road for people that are going to factories. Guess what he was selling? Cadbury. Hot chocolate. And Brookville, it's too cold. People go to the factory. This guy, Cadbury or John Cadbury, was selling hot chocolate. But when he grew up with his family and built his first factory, he made sure to include well-being in every step that he does in the company. For example, because Brookville is very remote from Birmingham, and the people need to commute from their homes to the factory, he said, you know what? I'll give you houses next to the factory. Stay here. Now, when he gave them houses, they get sick. They need a doctor. So he said, I will build a hospital in this, near to these houses. They need schools. They have kids. He built schools into the area. And it became a community of Cadbury over there. And the place is still, until today, there. He built around 300 houses with large rooms, forming the village. built school, hospitals, reading rooms, and washrooms as well, all around. Sporting, recreation facilities, and we paid also pensions, around 60,000 to fund pension program that he had in 1906. Imagine that this is the chocolate factory. The only fact remains that this company has spent a lot of money on well-being, but they still exist. They did not lose the track. Another company which is too young for us is Google. Google has been founded by Larry Page and Brent. They are students in Stanford University, and what they did is that they said that we want people to come to our work, do our work, and have fun. Playroom, do your desk as you like, bring your pets around, do whatever you like. You want to work now, you want to work later, you want to work at any time, it's your baby. You are hired, you are with us, we'll pay for you. Guess who's growing? Where's Yahoo, by the way? Huh? Vanished. Where's Microsoft? Yeah, vanished. Google remained, and they are still remaining. So they have given free doctors, and basically dentists as well, because dentist is not a physician thing, it's a special thing. So they offer dentist consultation, and they offered also 3,000, they offered also free fitness centers, they offered laundry machines, everything at work. Now, if you have been offered everything at work, would you like to go home? Now, I'll talk about this later on. Good. Now, let's talk about the relation between well-being and health and safety. The relation is very close. Look at this. Dr. Peterson, in 1970s, have talked about something very important. He said this statement, and this statement is in my studies, and it has been, critiqued very much in my study. But at the end, it remained fact. He said that behind every unsafe condition, there is a management system that could have allowed that hazard to exist. So unsafe conditions are because of management systems, not because of the employee that manufactured it. Because at the end, the employees manufactured it, they made the unsafe condition, but there has been a system behind it that allowed it to exist. And he said that behind every unsafe behavior or unsafe act, there is a reason that those people engage in those behaviors. A lot of times that has to do with management systems, the way people are measured and rewarded, the culture itself of the organization that leads unsafe behavior to be okay. So this is the culture. When you see something wrong and you do nothing about it, you acknowledge it, saying that's okay. If you know that your family members are driving without a seat belt, and you know about it, and you don't acknowledge it and say to them, hey, you are not saying where is the safety belt, you are saying to them the opposite. That's okay. If you are going across a pit or a hole in the ground and do nothing about it, you are saying that that's okay, and so forth. So, Dr. Peterson was a very talented in a way that he shifted the theories that are there, like Heinrich and Frank Bell, saying that employees are the problem creators, into the management systems are the problem creators. And he made the model. But basically, this model has been done by Heinrich in 1932, and it was then done by Frank Bell again in 1969. And Dr. Peterson critiqued this, stating that, yes, you have a loss in an accident, you have an event that caused the loss, you have an employee that did something wrong, but you have a management supervisor who allowed it, who allowed the unsafe act, unsafe condition to exist, and he has a management system driven by the top management who allowed the supervisors to create the systems which the employees have done the unsafe conditions and unsafe act, and then we have the accidents. As simple as that. Now, what do we do when we have an accident? Run to the employee, give him a warning, close topic. And this is why you don't go up in the morning going to work. Because one day you will be in an accident, people will not support you, or your friend was in an accident and he got a warning because he did nothing bad. He just followed the rules, but something wrong happened, and the management system caused that. Good. Let's go for something unique. Hope. Basically, I was there working with the people from the National Safety Council. I have been awarded the star, they call them the Rising Stars in 2014, and I have been offered the chance to work with a very nice group in the National Safety Council. We have been meeting in September 2014 to do many activities, and one of the activities that we have done is with some instructors that talked about some studies that they have done in the United States. One of them was Lisa Brooks. She did this presentation also in 2020 or 2021, where Corona was there and was online. What does HOPE mean? HOPE means human and organizational performance. And basically, it measures processes and systems that influence the human. Cars are made for us in a way that we will make an accident. Cars are built in a way that we will do a mistake. And they are made in a way to detect this mistake and correct. So every gauge you have, every equipment you have in the car have been made in a way stating that the driver might have failure or have done a mistake or will do a mistake. And we'll explain this in a few minutes. What does HOPE do in brief? It increases the work quality, the system reliability, and productivity. Now let us see what is HOPE. Let us see the 6 steps of HOPE. The first one, people are fallible. We are built to do mistakes. We are not machines, although even machines do mistakes sometimes. We do mistakes all the time. They have done a study recently on pilots. In 1 hour, pilots do 7 mistakes in average. Imagine 7 mistakes in 1 hour, but they recover. And the systems around them help them to solve out these mistakes. So this is how they are building their system. Error is normal and not a choice. Now, mistakes arise directly from the way the mind handles information. We will do mistakes. Now, how we deal with mistakes is something. The most important thing is that we do not equate mistakes and errors into violations. They are not equal for one reason. Do you know what is the reason? Yes?
Violation is to know something and do it again. But mistake is the first time.
Okay, very close, but give him a round of applause. Yes, very good. Mistakes are not intentional. We don't do them by planning. We do them by lack of knowledge, lapse, errors. But violation, we do them intentionally. We wanted to break it. We know the rule, but we want to break it for something. A shortcut, saving time, saving money, whatever. But it's intentional. And this is why we should not equate mistakes into violation. And this is the first step of HOPE. The second one, workers are the masters of problem solving. It's ironic that when an accident happens, you'll see a bunch of management sitting in a room investigating as one guy, a technician or non-management, and putting all the blame on him. As simple as that. Because he is the weakest one in that room. Now, HOPE says that you need to change this. Because once you have an accident, or you have an error at work, or you have even low quality or low productivity, you need to bring the employees and ask them how to elevate that. Because they are the masters of these things. Management draw the line This is A, we want to reach to B. But when you go and work it out, you will find that we'll start at A, we will go up in the performance, down again, up, down, and we'll end up in the target, but some way here. But we reach to point B. Management think that the road is forward and straight. It's not. For employees, it needs to have support from them and need to understand them because they are the masters. Have you been into an accident where the employee said, you know what, we need to do this and this instead of this? A lot, because they know what to do. And we need to use them. Especially in risk assessments. Let's go for proactive things. In risk assessments, we need to involve the employees into the risk assessment team in order to listen to them. Don't involve them just to show that you are engaging them. Listen to them. The third one, environment dictates behavior. And I'll talk to you about something called local rationality. Every accident that happened, and I feel pity when I hear this, it's silly accident. The employee was stupid. He did a stupid mistake. And I'll teach you tonight that those things are wrong. He didn't do something stupid and he didn't do something silly. Basically, he went through local rationality. And I know that you don't understand it. I'll give you an example of it. People act the way they act logically before an accident. I was in that seminar in the United States, and there was a girl named Sandy, and she said to me, Hisham, one day I was in a birthday party. It's in the neighborhood, but 2 blocks away. So they reached to the birthday party, they finished the party with her kid, and she decided to walk back to their home. And she was with her kid, and it was in the evening, like 8 o'clock in the evening, going back. And they stopped into a traffic light, a pedestrian traffic light, where you have the green light and the red light. Now the red light is showing to them, and the road is the other side that they want to cross, and there is a road on the left. And they were just standing, herself and her kid. And there was a guy who was colored, wearing a hoodie, withering in a way that was weird. And the road was dark. And she turned into her kid, and she found her kid waving at her or looking at her and saying to her, what shall we do now, Mom? And directly after the traffic light went to green, she didn't cross straight, she crossed the other side to avoid that guy from contacting her. Now, the other road was the functioning road, was the live road. This road stopped, this road was functioning. So she stepped into the live road. If she had the accident, and you went to investigate that accident, what would you say?
She's trying to suicide.
Stupid mom. She took her kid to the other way. She didn't wait for the traffic light. Now go for the local rationality, go back, think about the logic that she had. It makes sense, right? Now go back for all accidents that you have at work. Go and see or find the local rationality behind that thing. People that put their hands into machine, they put it, you know why? Not to cut their hand, to protect the machine, to protect the asset of the company. Thinking that they are strong enough to stop whatever comes to them at that moment. And this is why they put their hands into rolling.
I think because they have fear from management from the
blame, loyalty.
Fears to avoid this warning. So he's tried to resolve it.
Resolve it as soon as possible. Now again, we'll go back. Who created the system? Who created the culture? Okay, good. But it's all about that moment, that thing, that action. It was logical. It was not stupid. Think about it. Okay, let's move. Are you fine with it? We reached to 3? Okay, let's go for 4. Leadership response to failure is vital. Now, when you are building a management system, your management action on their mistakes or on their reward matters. Now, you can make it a crime, or if you respond to failure by criming and punishment, or you can go and diagnose and treat. It's up to you. Hope says that you need to go and diagnose and treat. Hope says that you need to learn first, then improve, instead of blame and shame. Have you ever talked about accident and said the accident of Hisham?
Many times.
You name it by his name, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember the
Yeah. That's blame and shame. Yeah? The accident of Ali, the accident of Bob. Okay? You name it. And by the way, employees do not create accidents. They are involved in accidents. Last one is negative discipline or positive discipline. I still remember that we had a CEO at one time called Bruce Hall. This CEO, you think about it, it was weird at that time. So we had an accident to one of the employees in power station. He had some release into the valve of air, and he was standing next to it, and it injured his ears. So what he did, the CEO and the management at that time, they said, you know what, we were going to punish him. Let's send him to Dubai for a safety course. And we were like, punishment? Sending him to Dubai for a safety course is a punishment? Yeah, it was. It was a positive punishment. And imagine that this guy, until today in Alba, is one of the best employees in health and safety. Because of that incident, of that action that we took at that time. It was weird. People started saying that, are we going to have an accident to take us on business trip? Or then I do one. It's not the case. It's how we build our systems. 5, blame fixes nothing. You go and blame from today until tomorrow and after tomorrow. It fixes nothing. You can either blame and punish and lose it, or learn and improve and win it. You cannot do both. You cannot say, I want to improve and learn, but I need to punish you. You cannot do that. Sometimes you need to let things go and win the people instead of winning the scenario of that event. The last one is proving through learning. Our words matter. Let's talk about event review and learning instead of accident investigation. Let's interview the interviewee instead of the witnesses. It's like crime. Let's talk about investigation, not interrogation. Let's talk about evidences or data and information gathering. It matters. It even makes the employees more relaxed and more forthcoming to give you the truth of what happened. And people that run after employees after the accidents taking the statement, 100% they will not write what happened exactly. They will give you a story that makes them less stupid than any other thing. Come to them after 2 days or 3 days, ask them about the incident, they'll say, you know what? It's my mistake. I did this and this and this. It's denial, it's normal. If you have an accident, the first thing you will come out and say, hey! It is you, not him. But you'll say, I didn't do the accident. He did the accident for me. Right? And this is the denial stage. We need to understand this in order to resolve many things. Now let's go for Wellbeing. If we did the whole and managed to do the whole in our organization, we'll have a very nice culture that is acceptable. And from there we can have Wellbeing. The only remaining thing is that to have a wellness program. And the wellness program comes from these 7 domains that have been produced by CIPD, which is the Chartered Institute for Personal Development. They are an institute. They have developed recently a framework for 7 things that you can adopt in your organization to elevate the well-being. One of them is health. It's all about physical health and mental as well. The second one is about good work. It's the work environment, the pay and reward system, autonomy and change management. It talks about values, principles like leadership, ethics, and diversity at the workplace. Collective social, it's like the positive relationships between employees and the engagement of employees between each other and the management. At one stage in our life, in our organization back in the 1990s, we used to have a bus who is dedicated for management. Are you?
Yes.
Yeah? Management team are not allowed to go with the employees, normal employees in their buses, because they don't want them to mix. Because management is different. Huh? So these things change with life, and now we have everybody going in, and we have a better social life. We have the personal growth, like career development, emotional. And believe me, employees will come to do the work. What you need to give them is development and the chance to grow. If you don't give them this, they leave. Or they stay, and they take the money, and they take the salary, doing nothing for your organization. Personal growth, and you have also good lifestyle choices like healthy eating, physical activities like the gym that I have been talking about with Dr. Down's story for the university at the beginning. And finally, financial support like fair pay and benefit, financial support for the needy, and finally, retirement plans for the people that are engaged in the organization. Finally, after all of this, I can say that organizations need to own a well-being policy and management systems. Today, in order to have your organization sustainable, you need to retain your employees. You spend a lot of money on developing them, training them, having them in the organization. It's a loss to lose your assets. Let's go back to the principle, the business principle. Employees are, or human capital is, asset. Why we are letting it go? Why we are destroying it while having it? Let's grow it. Let's make it refresh. Let us flourish it. Adapting for the photo. Okay. Adapting well-being makes the organization sustainable. As I said, health and safety performance is coupled with worker well-being, and hope is the robust philosophy. It's a philosophy, by the way, that can bring well-being to our business. Now, the last point that I wanted to say about it. You are being paid in your organizations to do our work. Why shall we give you more than that? I can tell you from my study that have been done that organization management must understand that this approach should not be seen as generosity. If you are a businessman, this is not a generosity towards employee. Rather, it should be looked as a business-oriented greediness, that we want more from the same employee with less. And at the end, that in addition to providing them better lifestyles, safe place, work, and being healthier. So this was one of the conclusions that I have came across in my study, and this is how we connect health and safety into well-being. Until here, thank you.
The question is open now for Hisham. You can ask him. You can have a discussion. Whatever question you have, please is ready for the question.
Thank you. Any question? Ah, you smell the food, huh?
We have Kai.
Yes. Yes, please, Kai. Stand up, Kai. Let them see you. Ah, yes.
Because this has happened, okay, now let's continue like this, and it happened again, now let's continue like this.
Yes.
So we are facing a lot of these things, and there is somehow good regulations in place, but the resistance to learn and adapt in the new experience and the new personal development is very difficult.
I'll tell you what to do. Yeah, I have been facing this in many of the companies that I have been consulting for in the past. I used to consult for Saudi Arabia companies like SICK, Saudi electricity company. I have been working with Aramco, which is Aramco is a very good company, by the way, but they have some divisions that have problems. I worked with them in the past, and I can tell you that they are doing two things. The first thing, they are searching for change agents. There are people in the organization, normal employees, that other employees like them, and they listen to them, and they are influential at the workplace. Know them, pick them up, bring them to your side. They'll bring the rest of the employees into your plans. This is one. Second, if your top management does not get it, forget about it. Search for another job. Search for another company. Wait for a change for the management. As simple as that. If they get it and want to change, you are in the right place and you'll get there.
90% doesn't want to change the management even.
There you go. There you go. Because they don't have the commitment. If they don't have it, it will never come down. Yeah. So search for the change agent. Some organizations bring change agents from outside. They bring them for a while, 2 years, they engage them, they tell them, come on, change for me, whatever I can change. They'll change the management first, and then they'll change the employees, and then they'll collectively have a new organization.
A question for you, Hisham. What is the most challenges where you were facing during your program when you started implementing? Because once you start the program, something is for the company, and how you face the problem, and what action you have done to resolve it?
It's priorities. Priorities change. Like, I hate it when people say that health and safety is a priority, because priorities change. And here, especially in Bahrain and the region as well, in the region, they go upon priority, and priority comes from trends. Like today, the trend is ESG. You'll see people running in the organizations, creating ESG department, want to do ESG, want to do sustainable development goals, and what have you. When you finish, you have another priority, you change that. And at the time, we had a priority of safety. If you remember, in 2002, when the laws came in fresh, that you need to put a safety professional in the world, management will be punished at that time, and people went, oh, let's have our safety people on board. And it was a priority. Health and safety should be a value. And how to have it as a value, or how to test it as a value, is very simple. Yasser, what do you do for morning when you wake up?
First of all,
As a normally? Yes.
shower.
Take shower,
And then
wake up,
starting
brush your teeth,
Then
have
I
your
go
coffee,
good morning.
okay? Maybe you'll start your car for 10 minutes.
Then I will start the job.
Yeah? Then you go to work.
Yes.
Yeah? Normal. Now you woke up late. What you will skip?
Oh, you will skip everything. Even shower you will not have.
Okay. Because it's not a value.
Yes. You will just roll up and
Yeah?
go to the
What is the thing that you will not skip?
The time card.
What is the thing that you will not skip that morning?
Prior clothes.
Hmm? Wearing your clothes.
Yes, of course.
What?
Of course.
I swear to God, I had a supervisor one time, 2296. Okay, the number. He said to me, Hisham, today I went out late. I went to the car. I wanted to start the car. The guy who's washing my car, he came to me and he was laughing at me. He's saying to me, boss, Capra. He was wearing the shorts, not that jeans for work.
Oh my God.
And I told him, yes, that's a priority, not a value. So this is how you know that this is a value. You will not skip that value, whatever happens. Whatever you skip anything, that's a priority for you. Like to me, if I woke up in the morning, I didn't brush my teeth, or I don't go out without brushing my teeth. If I don't brush my teeth, for example, I will not go out. I'll call my boss saying to him, I'm not coming today. That's a value. It's a priority to change. This is how you test it. Okay? And in organizations back again,
It's a
organizations back
culture.
again,
It's a culture. At the end, it's a culture how it's built in your company. So even if you wake up late, one call to your boss, I'm gonna get late, it will be 5-10 minutes, and then come. You will feel comfortable and you will go. If the culture is punishment, you will not reach. As we said, just wear whatever you have and go work.
Now you got it.
Yes.
Again, we go back to the management system.
Any question, guys?
Yes, yes. Thank you guys. Very nice discussion. Yeah. Now you can.
A small gift to Mr. Hisham,
Oh,
and
nice.
more kind presentation.